Clock in. Before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yes, we do reactions. Yo, comment down below. I react to anything really. But yo, till we get into the video, I'm from the suburbs. Say this again. Bro, for any nigga who trying to act hood, if you from the suburbs, cut that shit out. Just cut it out. Like, cut it out. But sit back, sit your fine ass back. Let's get into it.
From having a draft named after him to being sued by one of his fans. These are 12 things you didn't know about Ja Morant. And for number one, Ja's favorite brand is Nike. And when he was drafted number 2 overall, he knew he was going to get his own sneaker deal. He also knew he wanted to be signed by Nike. So to make sure he did, Ja refused to meet with any other brands during the process. He said no to Puma, Adidas, and Jordan. And when he walked out of the meeting with Nike, he signed a multi-year deal worth somewhere around 30 million. Nike
30 million? I can't say this nigga be acting gangsta if he not throwing up signs and shit.
He described Ja as their first Gen Z athlete, adding in the Nike's already full roster of NBA talent, including LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kevin Durant. Ja's releasing the first signature shoe with the Nike swoosh on it, since Giannis did it in 2019. The shoe is set to release in April of 2023, but Ja's already worn a pair on the court, as he rocked a purple pair against the Golden State Warriors on Christmas Day. And he had to make sure to show everyone his new shoes, posting them on the gram, while also showing off his logo made by Nike. But custom shoes weren't the only thing Ja was chasing, because when asked what he's addicted to, he had a simple answer.
Addicted to that is perfectly legal.
Money.
When Ja Morant got more money in his pocket, he definitely began to ball out. This brings us to number 2, because Ja Morant made the Grizzlies the most iced out team in the NBA. When Ja was named an NBA All-Star,
so these niggas worried about being iced out. They never worried about making it to the fucking finals. It's crazy. How you gonna try to be iced out and you're not in the finals?
in 2022, he rocked the flashiest smile during Media Day. This was because he was rocking a custom diamond grill, created by legendary custom jeweler Johnny Dang. Morant purchased the grills back in 2020, which ultimately led to his teammates Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brandon Clark adding custom diamond grills to their jewelry collection. Ja's custom diamond grill cost around $35,000 to make, and he was asked by Johnny himself if he would ever wear the grills during an NBA game. Ja responded by saying they might try to find me or something. But grills aren't the only thing Ja spends his millions on. After signing a 5-year, $200 million contract, he got 2 different Rolls Royces, the Dawn and the Cullinan, worth almost $500K each. Plus, he bought a $3 million mansion right across the street from his parents. But as for he bought a $3 million mansion right across the street from.
What is we doing? You made it out the hood. You go riches. You go rags to riches, but you about to go to the trenches. You about to go to the trenches.
His parents. But as for Ja's favorite animal, it's probably drafts. When he received the NBA Rookie of the Year award in 2020, the Memphis Zoo did something special. When their newest draft was born on November 10th, they named it Ja Rap, in honor of Ja Morant. The Memphis Zoo is a huge supporter of the Grizzlies, so they knew they had to show their support to their young star. Ja was so excited about having a draft named after him that he had to tweet about it. But he had to make sure the draft knew he would still put him on a poster.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't believe it. You hear me? I don't believe it.
But a draft wasn't the only thing he got for winning Rookie of the Year. He also got his name featured in his favorite music. Because at number 4, as soon as Ja was selected with the number 2 pick in the 2019 draft, he was in the spotlight. His high-flying dunks caused him to stand out to rappers. And also the Rookie of the Year award. Since he won the award, he was already featured in numerous artist songs, including J. Cole's My Life featuring 21 Savage and Murray and Lloyd Banks' Death by Design. However, the Grizzlies star are.
Let me say this: if the video blows up, maybe get a little bit views, bro. Y'all get to record this, bro. Back then, 21 is nice. Now this nigga overrated. They be thinking the nigga 21 a fucking god in this shit. We know who the god in this bitch. It's Drake 21. It's not you.
He tweeted out his favorite song that shouted him out, which was Moneybagg Yo's song, Rookie of the Year. The entire song is based around Ja's Rookie of the Year award, and is a direct shout out to him. Ja's playlist has to be fire, since it's full of songs that just talk about him. Now, even though on the surface, Ja seems to be a nice guy, it seems like he has a dark side to him as well. It's one thing to talk trash in an NBA game.
Nah, so sorry I'm pausing the video sometimes. I'm gonna say this. This for a lot of hood niggas. This for even niggas. Even niggas, light-skinned niggas. Not trying to defend no white people. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes you do want to just, you know, just flex it. You want to just flex it.
But it's another to talk trash to some kids in a pickup game at home. A teenager was playing a pickup game against Ja Morant when the two got into it. The teen threw the basketball, accidentally hitting Ja in the face. Ja came up to him, put his chin on his shoulder, and asked, "Should I do it to him?" He then attacked him, and Ja Morant's father said all of that was true, except when Ja went up to the teen, he did hit him, but in self-defense. When the fight was over, the teenager threatened Ja by saying he'd light up his house, which scared Morant and his family. The teenager came home with a large knot on his head, so his mom called the police and made a report. And on January 5th, 2023, the family filed for a civil lawsuit against Ja, saying it was all Morant's fault and he didn't act in self-defense. But at least this should teach you trash talking Ja is never a good idea, which this fan learned when he tweeted at Ja after a terrible game. He was making fun of how Ja played, and even worse, he was making fun of his girl. And Ja responded with a tweet. It said, "It's free to see how hollows feel." He may have went a little too far, but for being one of the most...
Okay, first, I get Ja Morant is wrong. Why is you... Bro, if the kid watching this, why is you all up on a nigga dick? In the nigga comments is crazy. You that much of a dick rider, you in another nigga comments? Come on, bruh. Oh my god, a celebrity NBA player said he gonna do this and me go... Bro, you is dick sucking. Then you want to get in the nigga comments, you're dick sucking. Yo, 17-year-old, you're dick sucking, little nigga. Stop dick eating! What your mom tell you about mwah?
Athletic point guards in the NBA today, you'd think Ja was dunking the day he was born. It's surprising to know that Ja wasn't always this athletic. He couldn't even dunk his first 3 years in high school. Ja stood at 5'9" and less than 160 pounds his first 3 years. And despite that, he still earned all-state honors in South Carolina. And it wasn't until his senior year that he would finally throw down his first in-game dunk. So now he's able to dunk on anybody he wants. For number 7, Ja was actually teammates with another NBA All-Star all the way back in high school. It just happens to be the player picked ahead of him in the 2019 draft. 5 years before they were the number 1 and number 2 picks of the draft, Ja and Zion dominated on the court together. Back in high school, they didn't have all their basketball powers, so they weren't looked at as the stars they are today. Zion wasn't getting all media attention, and Ja was still as skinny as ever. Back then, no one could have guessed that these two would be future NBA All-Stars. When they were drafted in 2019, both players remember being teammates back in the day. Ja's dad remembers Zion being a quiet, athletic kid, but not quite as athletic as he is nowadays. And for number 8, even though he's one of the most exciting stars in the NBA today, Ja Morant wasn't a top recruit in high school. In fact, every site had him rated as a 0-star prospect. After earning All-State honors during his junior year, he received 0 D1 offers. But it made sense. He only stood at 6 feet tall and only weighed 160 pounds. Luckily for Ja, he was one of the last players added to a basketball camp, and the Murray State assistant coach happened to be at the camp, but for a completely different player. James Cain got hungry during the camp, so he went to the concession stand to find some snacks. And while he was there, he heard basketballs being dribbled in a different gym nearby. Out of curiosity, curiosity, James went over to check it out and saw Ja Morant lighting it up in a game on 3-on-3. It only took Kane a few minutes to whip out his phone and call the head coach of Murray State. He told him to come to the gym immediately. He knew he found his player. When the head coach arrived and saw Morant, both coaches knew they found a special player and immediately began recruiting Ja. They offered him a 4-year scholarship to attend Murray State, but because Ja wasn't highly recruited, his parents had to ask if it was a full scholarship. Both coaches laughed and said, yeah, it's a full 4-year scholarship, but he's only gonna be here for 2. If you're an athletic point guard who dunks on defenders and has insane hops, you're going to be compared to Russell Westbrook. But that's exactly what Ja wants to hear, because in an interview with the Dan Patrick Show...
Bro, see, bro, you doing so good. Ja Morant, if you watch this video, you stupid motherfucker. Nigga, chill.
Morant said that Westbrook was his favorite player. He tries to play just like Russ, with his ability to score, rebound, and pass, and of course, dunk on defenders. He also plays with a similar chip on his shoulder, just like Westbrook. Morant doesn't feel like Westbrook gets the respect he deserves, and compares that to himself. Growing up, Ja also felt like he didn't get the respect he deserved and was overlooked as a player. Being a 0-star recruit, Ja's definitely following in Westbrook's footsteps, recording 8 career triple-doubles so far, with one of them coming in the playoffs. In his 3rd season, Ja was named an NBA All-Star starter, just like Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, that isn't the only reason Morant and Westbrook have similar stories. When Westbrook was in high school, his best friend Kelsey Bars tragically passed away from a heart attack at just 16 years old. Westbrook used the death of his best friend as motivation to become the best basketball player he could be. And Ja suffered a similar loss growing up. Trey Beverly was Morant's cousin, who also played basketball. He was one of Ja's role models and pushed him to be the best basketball player he could be. Ja remembers his cousin always pushing him harder and reminding him that as long as he worked hard, he would make the NBA one day. But in 2017, Trey Beverly tragically passed away from a motorcycle accident. Ja honors his cousin on his Twitter bio with the hashtag LLT, which stands for Long Live Trey. And he also honored his late cousin when he got drafted. At the end of the interview, he ended it by saying, "Long live Trey." Losing his cousin was one of the worst days in Ja Morant's life, but one of the best was when he got his jersey retired by Murray State. Ja played 2 seasons at Murray State, and he made a ginormous impact. He set the record for most points in a season, and is tied for 7th in most points in a game. He's the university leader for assists, and most assists in 1 season. And he holds multiple records for most assists in 1 game. At Murray State, he averaged 24.5 points and 10 assists per game. He also led them to March Madness and won the OVC Player of the Year award back-to-back. On February 1st, 2020, the Murray State Racers retired Ja Morant's jersey. He became the 11th player to have his jersey retired by Murray State. Now, he holds a lot of records in college. But we can't forget about the record Ja holds in the NBA, because he holds the record for dunking on the most people. I don't know if that's a record, but look at these.
Damn.
Ja is clearly not afraid to dunk on anyone. But do you know who else isn't afraid of dunking? LeBron James. Check this video out right here.
You see, we made it this far. If you made it this far, subscribe to the channel. We be lit. Let me know in the comments if y'all want more monkey videos. I'm not doing no Omega videos. Bro, niggas be on there beating their dick. Niggas be... Bro, it be niggas that be...
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.